Today, we are talking all about why sometimes you need to take a break from your business and how you can step into your happy right now to get your power back.
Hey love, you're listening to the Mums in Biz Show and I'm Victoria. Every week I'll bring you the unvarnished version of what it means to be a mum running a brilliant business, what you need to be doing to get it to where you want it to be, and a healthy dose of how to get the heck out of your own way. Let's dive in.
Well, hey there, beautiful ladies. Welcome back to the Mums in Biz Show. And today we are talking all about why sometimes you need to take a break from your business and how you can step into your happy right now to get your power back. This is a little bit of an impromptu topic for me today. I had something else planned. I've had a lot of reflection happening for me over the last week or so, and so I really wanted to share some of that with you. And so that's what I'm going to do. What we are talking about is something that has been really, really close to my heart for the last, for a long time really, but it's just, you know how things bubble up to the surface again. And in the last week, there has been a bunch of stuff happening in my life that has really caused me to stop and take stock and do some reflection around how we go about setting goals, how we go about making things happen in our lives, and how open we are to opportunity and success actually coming our way. First thing I want to talk about is happiness, because I think that we so often tie our vision of what success looks like for ourselves to happiness. I will be happy when I have achieved X. I will feel happy when that has happened. I will feel happy when this person stops doing that. I will feel happy when my children are in this place. And I think that one of the things that has really struck me of late is that there is this real notion of giving away our own power in any situation that we have when we do that, when we tie our happiness to some future event that hasn't yet happened. And we all know, you know, that catchphrase, money doesn't buy happiness, and we all know that that is true. But I think we actually need to bring that back a little bit more. If you are not happy right now in your life, then you will not be happy when you are successful, which is a pretty big statement, because many people tie success to that notion of happiness. So how then do you find happiness in where you are right now? What is it about your life that makes you happy? These are the things that I've been reflecting on, because those who have, you know, heard me speak about it before, we've had a lot of change in our lives. We've relocated, we've changed the way that we're working and the things that we're doing. And I am not, I'm not different to you. I don't have perfect children, although most of the time I think they're pretty amazing, but they're normal children who are little. I have a normal husband. I am a normal woman. You know, we live in this house which is regularly chaotic, but I am happy at a really fundamental level with so many aspects of my life right now. And that's one of the things that I wanted to share with you. And I would love to hear your stories. I would love you to jump in and tell me what happiness means for you, because I think that unless we take time to stop and reflect on that measure of happiness that we do have, it passes us by. And so you might have heard people talk about taking time to be happy, taking time for gratitude, taking time to reflect on where you're at right now. And one of the things that I've noticed that have been really fundamental for me has been acknowledging those sensations of joy when they hit me. And it's usually at a really obscure time or really small things. So, for example, this is our first full year coming into a spring. And for the longest time, we lived in Queensland, and you don't experience the changes in the season quite so much, and you certainly can't grow many of the flowers that I love. And so I I get so much joy right now being out in the garden and seeing all these bare branch trees just ready to burst forth with spring. And what I have found is that when I'm being really, just deliberate about being in the moment, being really present and just experiencing that joy, it's so incredibly uplifting, and I feel negative energy falling away. So that was one little example for you. I actually feel joy when I'm sitting in the complete chaos of my lounge room. I would normally take a photo, to be honest with you, but it's really bad right now, so I'm not going to do that. But sitting there and watching my two children like clamber all over me, and I know there's all this stuff I could be doing right now, but I have so much joy in that moment of the love that I'm getting from them. There are things in your life right now that bring you extreme joy. And I think when we get really good at knowing what those are and recognizing them, then that can be a game changer, because what that means is that you're starting to be present now. And I think in terms of how we go about setting our goals, the reason I started with the happiness story is we need to be present now to be open to opportunity and to be open to possibility, because we set goals, and the reason that I talk about goal setting from a top-down perspective and starting with your ideal life and where you want to be is that you don't get so caught up sometimes in the bottom-up detail. This is my goal, and this is how I'm going to get there, and this is the plan, and we structure the heck out of it, and that means that we are so focused on doing all of those steps to get to the goal that we're not open to the possibility of a different way of achieving it. So, for example, there are lots of things happening and changing in my life right now. I have an opportunity to change the client that I'm working with in my corporate environment. I have an opportunity to purchase a property, which is really ideal for what we're looking for longer term. I have opportunities around my business and who I'm working with. And what I'm loving about this experience right now is I have goals in place. Absolutely, I do. And I have a really strong vision for where it is we're going. What I'm loving is that my business is one piece of that puzzle. And I'm loving staying really open to the possibility of all of the opportunities that are coming up for us as a family and how they are moving us towards that ultimate goal and solidifying what the business looks like as part of that. And so what I wanted to say around goal setting, particularly when I gave you a fairly structured way of looking at it when I talked about goals the other week, is to say make sure you leave some room for the magic to happen. Make sure you leave some room to stay open to the things that are coming your way, because the journey that you are on is different to everybody else's journey. So you can't follow someone else's plan, but you can aspire to have things that look great out of how they're doing things. And I think that, you've heard me say before, you are exactly where you need to be in your business right now. And you are there because there are things that you need to learn. And I believe that being open to possibility is part of that. I know as much as anybody, because I used to be the most tightly controlled person on the planet, that letting go is incredibly challenging and it is a journey. And I'm not saying you can flick a switch, but finding ways to embrace your moments of pure happiness in your life right now, and then learning how to create more of those and how to fill up your cup with that full sense of love and joy and energy, help you be in the moment that you need to be in to recognize the opportunities come up so you can hit those goals. Okay? Now, I am going to pop that blog up because I would love you to all go and have a read of it, because I really expanded upon what we talked about in the show the other week. And one of the things that I think is really important to acknowledge is that, we often set these goals for ourselves and then we manage them down because we're not 100% sure we can reach them. And we create these expectations around what that means when we do or don't meet it. And often you're setting yourself up for failure in your head before you've even started. And so it's super important to be conscious of where you are, creating those expectations around the goals that you're setting. So here's an example. You set yourself a revenue goal and then you think, oh, I don't know about that. That's a little bit high. Excuse me. And then you change that down a little bit. But in doing so, you've already embedded that subconscious thought around, I can't achieve that. And what will it mean if I can't achieve that? Why did you adjust it down? Was that about how you were going to feel? Was that about being worried what other people were going to think? Was that about being worried about the impact on your business if you didn't hit it? Can you see how you can start to be coming from a place of running away from fear in trying to achieve a goal? And so that's what I want to challenge you on. How do you shift that whole perspective around to be about attracting opportunity and the right kind of energy to you in how you go about delivering on your goals and things in your business, goals and your plans and what you want to achieve? It completely changes the way that you're coming at things. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was taking breaks in your business. I would love to know what this actually means for you. I and you guys have probably noticed this, have had a bit of a break in the last week or two. I haven't been as active on social media. I've just been kind of doing the bare minimum. I haven't been so focused on activity because I really needed to take some space. And by not forcing myself to keep going when I felt that has been so incredibly empowering. It has, and I didn't do it by feeling guilty. So let me be really clear. When you decide to take a little break in your business, often what we do is then we spend that entire time beating ourselves up about the things that we should be doing. And then you don't enjoy the time that has actually been a break because you felt guilty the whole time. And you just kept stacking up that to-do list in your mind, and that stops you from being able to move forward. So I'm talking about actually being a place where you can put your business down for a wee bit. Now, I do mean a wee bit. It's very, very easy to get out of the habit of those good work practices that we found that have worked really well for us, our routines, and also about being, so to that point around happiness. As you know, I often work in the evenings on my business. And so I was really conscious about going, I'm not going to get my computer out tonight. I'm going to spend some time with Jeff, or, go and do this thing or catch up with some friends, but really having that conscious thought around, I'm not doing it and this is my reward, not I'm not doing it and I should be doing X and, oh, well, I'll try and catch it up and that just means I'm not going to get any sleep. I didn't do that at all. And it was so freeing. I really, by shedding that notion of guilt, was able to get to a place where the creativity started again. And so I think I needed to have a little break. I was tired, and yes, physically tired, but I mean mentally and emotionally tired. There was lots of things going on outside of my business reality that were sapping some of my emotional energy. And I think by acknowledging that and giving myself some space, I was able to rejuvenate a little bit, learn how to, love myself through some of those self-care practices and get the creative juices flowing again. Like, I'm so energized right now about things that I want to be putting in place, and I didn't feel like that a week and a half ago. And so I want to encourage you to think about what a break from your business looks like. And I want to know what that looks like from your perspective, not from anybody else, not from your clients, not from your partner, not from your VA or your coach or anybody else that you may be working with. How do you feel when you sit and think right now about your business? And does it make you feel tired? Does it make you feel worn out? Does it make you feel resigned? Or are you energized? You can't wait to get back into it? Those things are really important to pay attention to, because if it's the former set of feelings, then you probably need a little bit of a break. And it doesn't need to be a long one, but it's important to acknowledge that and to think about what you need to do to fill your cup so that you can start to bring the best of you forward. I can pretty much guarantee you that if you are coming from a place of really depleted energy in your business, you're not going to be able to give the value that you really want to the people that you love. You're not going to be able to deliver the value to your clients. You're going to feel less than. And I 100% believe that we should, not should, I don't like the word should, but trying to remove ourselves from situations where we feel less than is really, really important to me, because we are absolutely perfect the way we are. We just need to learn to embrace ourselves and feel really comfortable with ourselves. We place this pressure on ourselves around what we think good or perfect looks like, when in actual fact there is no perfect. And I think that we always grossly underestimate the value that we bring, and therefore place that false pressure on ourselves, which compromises the value. How can you come from a place of complete energy when anxiety is a part of that picture for you? Now, let me be really clear though. I'm not saying that where you are at, if you are feeling in a similar place to what Anna is feeling right now, where anxiety is a part of your picture, that's not wrong. That's just where you're at right now. And so it's about finding that way to identify the things that are causing those negative emotions, and then thinking about how you can change those things. Sometimes it's a really little tweak to a set of activities that you've got going on, or it's a really little tweak to a schedule, or it's just going, do you know what, I'm not going to send out that blog this week, or I'm not going to do that really complex posting schedule this week, I'm just going to do just enough. Or you might genuinely be in a place of shift. So we're all often, our businesses go through stages where you're leveling a little bit. You might be bringing on some help. You might be taking on more clients. You might be working up to a launch, and that's okay too. What I think is important is acknowledging where you need to give yourself some space. So finding an endpoint to that environment or situation that you're in, where you can create a little bit of freedom as well.
And that's a wrap for today's episode. If you enjoy listening to the Mums in Biz show, I would love for you to leave us a review on iTunes, and be sure to post a snap of you enjoying the show on Instagram and tag me at nicole.tuerick. You can also join in the conversation with me in the Mums in Biz tribe on Facebook. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the Mums in Biz show.